accounts also that target the religious organization that we call faith-based organization. And this does not only target the Christians, we also have for our Muslim brothers and sisters. And we also have accounts that we target the groups, that we call the groups accounts, where we encourage the groups to pool their resources together and build their own capital for any investment that they would want to do. Then under loans, we have business loans for small, medium enterprises, where we categorize them under micro loans for small enterprises, for those businesses that require little capital. Then we have other business loans, such as asset-based financing, which targets financing of equipment, financing of motor vehicles, financing of hospital equipment, laboratories. Then we have corporate loans that target big organizations, and we also have the mortgage loans. So in case you have a plot and you want to put up your building, or in case you want to purchase a plot, we do offer those types of loans. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'll just give a summary of what I've gone through, just the passing shot. As you go out, as you come up with the innovations, first of all, make sure you understand that sort of business. Make sure you know how to get those permits. Make sure you have a financial record in terms of statements you can start while in school, so that in a year's time or 2 years' time, you have good records that can be analyzed. And also make sure you also collaborate with people who understand the business side. Visit any of our branches. We have relationship managers, we have colleagues there who can be able to take you through the financial journey, because financing is a key part of any business or any project. So you need, first of all, to understand the finance side on how you're going to expand that business, how you're going to grow it, so that as you come up with the ideas, you see which ones are going to be more profitable for you, and those are the ideas that you're going to go for. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Edwin, and Madam, for that good presentation about KCB and what you are doing in that space. You know, when we went to school, we were just told to work hard, work hard. So you work hard in your space. People have worked hard, they've become computer scientists. Others have worked hard, they've become engineers. Others have become doctors. So nobody taught us about money. They never told us that you work very hard to, at the end of the day, to make something that can enable you to do things that you want. It is one space that I think requires a lot of input. And we are happy that you've come through to share with us what is existing, what you're doing, you know, how we can be able to be supported so that our ideas can become realities. We said the other day that the global economy rides on innovations. Yeah, I was reading something somewhere, and somebody was saying most of the big names you hear in the innovation space, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, they will tell you these guys dropped out of school, but there's something behind them that they never say. You know, especially the kind of families they came from, people who were able to support them, push their innovations through. So it's one thing having an idea, but it's a completely different thing being able to mobilize resources so that you can grow your idea into something that is commercially viable. So thank you, KCB. We have a lot of questions to ask you, I promise you, so please stay put until we get to that Q&A. We now move to the next presentation, and this will be done by Equity Bank. Equity Bank is partnering with us, and we are very grateful to you for accepting to come and be with us. We would like to listen to you. You're the guys who demystified the business of... I was saying it's Equity Bank that demystified the business of, the bureaucracies around opening a bank account. I don't know if you remember those. I lived in those days when opening an account was a big deal. But Equity Bank came and, they did their thing. And so we're happy they're here to share their insights and tell us more about what they've been doing, what products they have that can support innovation. And I would like at this point to invite Mr. Evans to come over and share with this expectant team about what Equity Bank is doing. Please join me in appreciating Mr. Evans as he comes over.
Good afternoon. This is Equity Bank, and I'm sure even the youngest in this country knows about Equity Bank. Any village, wherever you go, Equity is all over. You can access Equity online. You open your phone, Equity is already there. You move around, you can see Equity. So today we want just to briefly share what Equity is all about, what we do, and ideally in innovation, Equity has been moving very fast. We keeping abreast with the changes in the environment, and we've really done a lot. Ideally, Equity is, we are guided by those corporate philosophies, which you can see on our various banners and the like. The major one is about our purpose to transform lives and livelihoods, which is very, very, very important as we create opportunities to create wealth. But the vision is what really strikes a lot, because our CEO usually has a lot of passion for that, to champion socioeconomic prosperity of the people of Africa. So ideally, this is what guides Equity Bank and Equity Holding company as a whole. And we are the listening and caring partner. As a bank, we are guided by those core values, which we give by the word picture. Integrity is I. We have teamwork for T. Creativity and innovation is there for C. And we have professionalism for P. And then we really care about our customers, which is is it the last R, respect and dignity for our customer, which is really key to what you do in our everyday activities. Now, as Equity, we have gone around the globe. The passion is maybe in the next 5 or 10 years, we want to be in around 25 countries. So far, we are in about 7 countries, including Kenya. And we've really spread. In Kenya, we have 191 branches. Nairobi alone, the capital city, has 52 of them. If you go to Uganda, we have 50 branches, but the capital city, Kampala, we have 24 of them. And then if, South Sudan, so far we have 5 branches, and the capital city, Juba, we have 4 of them. In Tanzania, we have 15, whereby Dar es Salaam has already 7 of them. Rwanda, we have 16. Kigali, we have 9. You can see when we're already in DRC, 81 branches so far. And at the capital city, Kinshasa, we have 40. And Ethiopia, we just entered recently. We have 1 branch, which is based at Addis Ababa. So you can see it's a branch, is a bank that is going around the globe. As Equity, we have two arms. We have the social arm, which is the Equity Group Foundation, and then we have the economic arm, which is the Equity Group Holdings, the bigger part of the bank. What happens, we work together, the social arm and the commercial engine, for the purpose of delivering quality services to our customers. Now, the economic engine, which is the bank, we offer equity loans. We have loans which are fit the innovations that most of us have. We have those who are doing farming. We have such kind of loans for agriculture loans. Sorry, before we move to the next slide. Besides that, we have savings and investment services and products. If you want to invest, you want to save, we have quite a number of products that you can access at any point. So long as you have a bank account, you can be able to access that. You can do payments, which you do online. Right now, you can be able to transact online where you're seated using our Equity, the Equity line. We have online platforms where you can be able to transact to. And very important is insurance. We have Equity Insurance Agency, which is a registered insurance entity that covers all what insurance entails. I'll be talking about that. And of course, the digital platform that we have, which is very relevant even for the innovations. You know, these days we can't be putting posters there to tell what we do. We can be able to do all this online. And Equity has enabled that at the moment. In fact, recently, we can also access government services directly from our digital platforms, Equity, whereby if you want to do anything for government, you don't need to walk there. You just log into the Equity platform and you can be able to do all that. Okay. In terms of products specifically, I talked about savings and the investment accounts. We have personal accounts. You can open an ordinary account, a current account, school fees collection, if you have a school, for example. We also have investment. You can have a CDS account. For example, now the central bank can allow you to invest in treasury bills, treasury bonds. In fact, if you have at least 50,000 shillings, you can be able to buy such kind of investments. For example, a treasury bond, you can be assured if the interest is maybe 14%, you'll be assured of getting that gain at the end of the 5 or 3 years or so. For business people, and I believe an innovation like you put it, innovation is entrepreneurship, isn't it? So there are so many accounts you can have, because for you to access your money, for you to get a loan, you need to have an account. And of course, those are some of the accounts that you can have. Investment account, you can have a business account and the like. For corporates, which could be organizations and others, they also can be able to open the institutional accounts, investment accounts and the like, and those who are working as groups, because groups have come out to be a system or systems where people grow, they support each other. We have chama loans, whereby people can invest maybe in land, in other kind of assets, when they come together and they can access loans. So those who are in diaspora, or if you have friends, relatives, they can also invest here in Kenya through Equity, whereby they open an account, they can open a dollar account, or whatever account that is there, and then they can access the amount, and we are going to see the products they can be able to invest in. In terms of how to borrow, yeah, you can borrow as an individual, you can borrow as a business, or you can borrow as a chama or a group. And of course, when you are borrowing as an individual, either you are salaried or you have an income, you can get an equi-loan, a loan that can spread over a few months, over 1 year. And then, of course, you can get a salary advance. And by the way, most of these loans are online. You can sit in your office or wherever and apply for a loan. and you can get it so long as your salary is processed through Equity Bank and you have an account. And of course, those other products like the businesses, you can access an asset finance, whereby you can access an asset. If you have an innovation you want to purchase, a machine like when I just listened to how they process grass to flour, if you want to access that kind of machine, we can be able to finance that through asset financing. And then, of course, you can get working capital. Of course, when you start a business, you need money to sustain that particular business, so we can offer working capital, loan, trade finance. For example, you want to import something and you don't have the finances, we can also be able to offer that. We can offer mortgage. You want to construct, we can also be able to do that. Now, in terms of those who are doing agriculture, you can have an innovation in agriculture and probably you don't have the finances. Either you're doing large scale or small scale. We have agri-based products, Kilimo Biashara, Kilimo Maendeleo. We have farm input loan if you want to purchase farm input. And of course, we have seed production, commercial agriculture, all that. We have a whole department for agriculture. And once you visit the branch, you can be able to access all that. Now, in terms of chama, I've talked about chama loans. It depends on what the members of that chama want. If they want to maybe access an asset, we give asset finance. Others, maybe they want an investment loan, they'll be able to give that. So long as that chama is registered by the social service or they have a certificate from the youth department. And of course, for the diaspora, as I said, they could be out there, but still they can invest within to purchase maybe residential plots. They want to buy residential houses, or they get diaspora credit cards. That's just a few of what we can do because there are a lot of products that Equity offers. And as I said, insurance department, through the Equity Insurance Agency, we have the obvious motor vehicle insurance we can cover. Even all loans we take, they're insured. And of course, we have various products on health. You can take an insurance cover, which are affordable depending on what your need is. Maybe it's covering one family, one person, and different other aspects of health. Also, if you're doing farming as a business, we do crop insurance to be able to mitigate against any risk that may arise out of, we have a lot, like the weather, the climatic changes, yeah? So instead of you did 100 acres and then drought came and it cleared everything. This cover, the insurance, crop insurance will be able to assist the farmers in that. Even your household, we are at risk. Sometimes someone can break into your house, they carry your electronics, whatever. We also have the Bima Macau, and it's very important. As small as even taking a premium of less than 1,000 shillings, you can be able to secure and protect your assets within your house. Okay. Now, I just want to briefly talk about Equity Group Foundation. This is the social part of what Equity does. And it really touches most of us because a lot has been done through this platform. I know all of us know about Wings to Fly, isn't it? That is what people just know, Wings to Fly. There is much more than what we see as Wings to Fly. Wings to Fly is just part of, it's under the education and leadership pillar in Equity Group Foundation. Equity Group Foundation has 6 pillars. We have educational leadership, we have enterprise development and financial inclusion. All those, you can say educational leadership, we have enterprise development, financial inclusion, we have health, food and agriculture, energy, green initiative, and social protection. We only know the Equity Wings to Fly is only in the first pillar, but there's much more that is in these other pillars. For example, the enterprise and development and financial inclusion pillar supports the main bank by offering training to all MSMEs. Anybody who is doing a business activity, we give free training on those components. In fact, we have over 350 trainers all over the country. Almost every branch has a trainer. Some are highly trained and certified trainers. Some train financial education. Others train entrepreneurship education. Others train digital literacy. And they're able to do mentorship and coaching. And all these trainers are ILO certified. If you go online and check Start and Improve Your Business, SIYB, these are trainers who are already certified through that. Their job is to train business people who are banking with Equity Bank. So you can see the support we get from the social part of the social arm of the bank. Next. Now, we don't just work alone. We work with partners. For example, in the enterprise development and financial inclusion, we focus on youth and women. And I know most of the people who are doing innovation, majority are within the youth category. There is a lot that you can gain from here, okay? Whereby you can be classified within the youth. And usually once you get your training, even when you do the appraisal for loans, because we know this training is majorly to the risk. You know, someone who is trained can know how to manage the finances, how to budget, and even how to spend the money that they are borrowed. And we know when they invest, they know why they're investing. So the treatment in terms of when they borrow is different from someone who has not been trained. And this is really core. Within the first 3 months, if you borrow, you're supposed to be trained. And the training is free. We call for conferences, which are just within where you can reach. And at the moment, we're also doing webinars. That's online training at your convenience. If you are doing business during the day, you can attend the training after work in the evening or during the day or weekends. So all that is offered. And you can see the objective is youth and women employment and the growth of these MSMEs to have that sustainability. You know, we do it through digital platform, entrepreneurship and financial inclusion. So we have very highly trained digital literacy trainers who can develop even apps. And they only support you so that you can be able to know as an entrepreneur, as an innovator, which direction do I want to take. So, and I think the other one within the Equity Group Foundation, we have Equity Hafia, and I'm going to invite Dr. Magara to tell us something about Equity Hafia. Welcome.
Good afternoon, guys. I'm Dr. Magara from Equity Hafia, who is part of the 7 pillars of EGF, where it could come under number 1 of under education and leadership development. Equity Hafia is one of the, you can call it one of the ideas, one of the innovative ideas of Equity Bank through Equity Group Foundation, where you can see, we can translate the theory to practical stuff. I know as maybe I can start from the students. As you sit in class, you're wondering what this innovation is. You're wondering how you can convert that innovation idea or innovative idea into something real. Now Equity Hafia is something you can say that is real and it's working. So Equity Group Foundation came up with Equity Hafia, which was one of the ideas. It came as an idea that they asked themselves, is it possible to offer quality services at an affordable cost? They asked themselves. Then they wanted to pilot. I'm sure most of the innovators here have said about incubating an idea. So in Equity Hafia, when they started, it started as a piloting project to see if for sure you can have quality healthcare at a very affordable cost. That's how we did piloting for 5 projects, 5 outlets in Nairobi in the different classes, and then it became successful. So from 2019, that's from, the piloting project was from 2015 to 2019, when it became successful, now we started rolling out equity affairs across the country. Now we are at 80 branches with a presence of 30 counties, and with a projection that by the end of this year, we'll be having our presence in all the counties. So what is Equity Afia? Equity Afia, essentially, the bank picks the best candidates from KCSE, from each sub-county. They join the bank, they be mentored on business. We were told, all of us, tukiwa shule were being trained on work hard, get good grades, but we never knew how to translate that into money or into something that can help us. It was more about work hard. Then when you're done with school, you are told, work smart. You're wondering now which way. Now with Equity Afia, we're able to be mentored on how to work hard, and at the same time, utilize the opportunities and the leadership skills that we've been given to convert that skill into something tangible. And now we ride in quality and affordability of our services. Equity Afia essentially is an outpatient service, outpatient facility offering all-inclusive services from consultation, lab, pharmacy, dental, optical, ultrasound, and everything you can think of as a human being, any need that you want as an outpatient. Just walk in, get the services, and walk out. Some of the services, depending on the need, some of the facilities, we open 24 hours. Like in Nakuru, we open Section 58 branch is 24 hours because of the need. As an entrepreneur, you will be taught on how to convert to see an opportunity and take advantage of it and help the society grow. That's how, for the 4 years that we've been in Nakuru, we've done outpatient from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. But when we set out to set up one in Section 58, we realized this population needs a 24-hour facility, and that's how we were able to set it. So for Equity Afia, somebody may be asking themselves, how is it different from the rest of the hospitals or the rest of the ideas that have come? Because we have so many facilities in the country, and especially, let's say, Nakuru, and they're asking themselves, how is it different from other facilities? Number one, it was started by young doctors. Doctors are at their prime age. They have nothing much to think about except their patients. So once you're done from campus, you have the idea, you've been mentored, you've learned. Now, immediately you complete high school, immediately you complete campus, you do internship, you become qualified as a doctor, you become now an employer of other doctors. You start Equity Afia, you get other qualified doctors and other cadres, you get to employ them. So as we sit here, I'm sure once in a while we are being told, never always think of becoming an employee, think of becoming an employer. And that's exactly what Equity does. It converts young entrepreneurs into employers and medical entrepreneurs. So with that, this is what I can leave you with. With Equity Afia and with Equity Group Foundation and other stakeholders, we're able to welcome all of us to the future, whereby healthcare will be quality, accessible, and affordable. With Equity Afia, anybody can visit us. Even our KCB brothers and sisters, they're welcome to Equity Afia. It's a hospital, not just for Equity Bank staff, but just that we're their children. We're the children of Equity, but we're able to take care of everybody. So karibuni sana. Wherever you see our logo, just know we're there for you and we'll be there with you. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. Let's offer a better and stronger round of applause. Asante sana Equity Bank for sharing insights about what you guys do, your products, how you've been able to innovate over the years, and how we can work with you in improving our ideas so that together we can grow the economy. Asanteni sana. Initially, we listened to a presentation from Kenya Commercial Bank. So we actually have two big players in that space with us here today. We are very grateful to you for coming and finding time and making a presentation. We now want to do question and answer session, and I'm already seeing hands. Question and answer session. We will do 2 rounds. Each round will have 3 questions. Right? We'll do 2 rounds, and each round will have 2 questions. Or we can make them 4 questions because we have 2 key players. So let them make them 4 questions in each round. Right? So you say your name, your institution, to whom you're directing your question, and then you ask your question very clearly so that we understand you. Dr. Thiga.
My name is Dr. Moses Dega, Director of Research, Innovation and Outreach at Kabarak University. My question is to both. You both have good programs to Jiajiri and Equity Foundation, the enterprise development. At what stage do you accept innovators? What level of growth do you expect by the time you consider them for the 2 programs? Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a question to both. Asante sana. So any from the 2 groups can respond, but after we have done 4 questions in round 1. A question from Anne from
Kitonga,
Kitonga.
from KIPRA, which is
Please
Kenya
proceed, yeah.
Institute for Public Policy Research and Analysis. Thank you for the presentation. Mine also is to both. Given we're at the Innovation Week, to what extent does the bank leverage on intellectual property to use as collateral to then provide credit? And has any used the registry, the collateral registry, for that purpose? Thank you.
Thank you. To use IP as collateral to finance innovators. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a good question, Anne. Last question. No, second last question. Mr. Ruoro, introduce yourself.
My name is Roro Simon, a lecturer from School of SET. I want to ask the financials. Apart from issuing or financing startups or anything else, do you also offer financial training for this? Because some of them don't have any idea of that. And at what extent do you offer?
Thank you. All the 3 questions are to both parties. One last question, preferably from a student. There's one up there. There's one up there. We're still coming back for another 4 questions. So please just stick with your question. I'm coming back.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my question goes to both of them. And how do you evaluate a startup when you are having an interest of investing on it? And also, how do you predict fall of a startup? And yesterday we had a question of what is actually happening to startups right now and innovations. And we had lessons about market plan and everything. And right now, since we have the top 2 investors, especially in the financial sector, what is the financial mistakes that startup take, and how can innovators and also business people go from this way of tackling stuff in the digital arena and maybe innovation? And my last question goes to also financial teaching and stuff. Do you have a way that we are now embracing technology, especially blockchain technologies and maybe cryptocurrency towards financial payments and and also how do you help students towards embracing this in the coming agenda of maybe world vision and also a globalization of financial community? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Those questions are also to both parties. So I'd like us to start with KCB because they presented first. Then we come to equity.
Okay, thanks again. Thank you for the opportunity. I'd just request the person who raised question number 3, please come again.
Okay, I was asking, apart from financing startups, do you offer training to actually to educate them on how to become profitable, how to manage those particular resources? And to what extent do you go to as you educate them?
Thank you very much. That is well received. So I'll go with, I'll do the first round, then my colleague will assist with the other round. So the levels of innovations that we take up at Tujiajiri, we take up different levels. Starting from the idea stage, we go with you from that particular through the training program. You have mentors, you have coaches in the program who enable you mold that idea into business, after which we do the financing. The first loan is usually interest-free, so you are able to have a partner with you. Yeah, so that is for the program that we have. To Jiajiri, we take you from the initiation stage, we take you through training, we cater for all the costs, incubation and all that, until you're able to commercialize that idea. In terms of intellectual property financing, we understand business has changed. The type of business that we are doing is not what we used to do before. So we are giving out collateral-free loans in that particular area, so long as there is feasibility in the idea and there are proper cash flow projections. So under our different levels of financing, we have different products. For instance, we have loans that are purely tailor-made for women. They are called FLEME, F-L-M-E loans. Those are unsecured up to 5 million. So long as, because we understand there are people, even, what is it called? There are these retailers who are online. They don't have a physical address. They don't have collateral, they don't have that, but we have a way of which we finance that. So intellectual property, in terms of used of as collateral, we'll go with unsecured, because what we have currently, conventional security, is either land or any tangible or movable security, after which anything that we give after that is unsecured. So we look basically on merit basis on how that idea can be commercialized in terms of what are the projected cash flows and how will be the source of repayment. In terms of evaluating startups, yes, we do. So long as you present a strong business case, and we have analysts who go through that business case in terms of analyzing it to see how and the amount of financing you can be able to get as that. That brings me back to the point that I had earlier. You should make you should make it a point to keep each and every record about the business, such that in terms of now, if you're approaching financier, you are able to be clear on what are the revenues looking like. For instance, if you get a loan of 100,000, are you able to repay it within 1 year? What are you projecting to be your monthly income from the same? So you should be, we can do financing for that, so long as you are prepared yourself well, you understand the market, you have done your due diligence, and you know the projections on how you are going to earn from it. In terms of question number 4, the financial mistakes that happen for startups, especially in terms of IT, you find that you come up with very brilliant ideas, specifically in ITs. Maybe you can come up with an app that is going to solve a problem, but I usually advise you go further and make sure you secure that innovation in such a way that it cannot be copied by any other person. So that's usually the first mistake we usually observe. Also, in terms of now you are very young, you have gotten your first loan, your idea is correct. As a young person, you might be tempted to divert these funds. Maybe, yes, you have started a business, it's booming. You get a loan from a bank, 2 million. What do you think? Think maybe instead of using boda boda, let me upgrade to a car. So that diversion usually kills business. So you make sure you be strict with the purpose of the funds. If you get money for the business, make sure all of it goes into the business. It will help a lot in terms of repayments. If you just go without the diversion bit. Another thing would be getting financing too early. From experience, we usually advise if you have an idea, even before going out to get a loan, make sure it's tried and tested so that the injection of the capital comes at a timely way that will be able to grow that business. If you have not done that, you can get the money and instead of the money being a blessing, it turns out to be a curse, and most of the businesses have collapsed because of the pressure that is coming from the financing. So before you go out to get the loan, make sure your business, maybe you have done on the checks and you are able from your projection to know that if I'm going to take out a loan that, say for instance, repayment will be 20,000 every month, you're able to generate fund above that so that you don't put strain on the business. Thank you.
Thank you, KCB. A better round of applause. All right. So then we listen to Equity. Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, we have 4 questions. The first question was on the stage of innovation that Equity can finance. For the last 5 years, through Equity Group Foundation, we had a program whereby we are focusing on entrepreneurs, innovators, especially on agriculture, and we were picking these innovators from college, especially those who have already graduated and already have either a degree or a diploma in agriculture, and they have an innovation, and besides the innovation, they should be able to have developed a business plan that is actionable. So, so what this all entailed was that you develop a business plan, you present your business plan plus the innovation idea, and I've said we are focusing especially on agriculture-based innovations. And then once that particular business plan is assessed and evaluated, you're given an opportunity to start. So we give, initially it was a start with a small loan that you'll be able to start off with, but all this was based on your business plan. So ideally, we have already financed one of the innovators who are doing hydroponic farming in a place closer to Nairobi, around Limuru. They call themselves Mirama. They are youths from Mirama. I think it's a project known as Mirama. So that one we've already supported them, and the project is doing very well. You'll be able to start paying probably after 2 years, but of course your proposal and business plan should be able to project, all the components of a business plan. Meaning as you have your innovation, you need to have a well-developed and practical business plan. So for those who don't have a business plan and they have a good kind of innovation, they are taken through. We have trainers who will take you through developing a business plan that can be financed. So that is what we have at the moment. And in terms of collateral, ideally once we evaluate that proposal, the business plan, depending on what you have, the security or the collateral for that matter will be that idea and how viable it appears to those evaluating that particular business plan. In terms of training, like I said, we have from the social arm, the Equity Group Foundation, we have around 350 trainers. These trainers have gone through Start and Improve Your Business, SIYB. So because when you have an idea and you want to come up with that innovation, you need to be taken through how you nurture that idea until you develop a business plan. So we take our innovators and entrepreneurs through Start and Improve Your Business. So we start with Start Your Business. For those who don't have an idea, we have youths who don't have an idea, we take them through generating a business idea. So that training is usually offered for free. Now, how to evaluate a startup? I've just talked about that case that I've given about Mirama hydroponic farming. But ideally, the bigger bank, what we usually do, the financing is usually based on those who have already started that business and it has generated some cash flows. So the appraisal and the evaluation will depend on what cash flows you've generated over a period of time. And then you'll be financed depending on your need in terms of working capital. When I come to the mistakes that startups or young people do, one of the major challenges when we evaluate, because our research has been done we have a program known as Young Africa Works. I'm sure some of you have been watching Citizen TV. You've seen us bringing entrepreneurs who have gone through our training. They have been financed, they have been trained, okay? So ideally, one of the major challenges that has been identified, especially for startups, is that they do not have an actionable business plan. They only develop a business plan which is theoretical. When they are implementing, it doesn't really work. So you need to come up with an actionable business plan. What do you mean by actionable? In terms of if it's a product, you must come out clear how you develop the product. You must come out clear how you market the product. Because you can't just come up with a product of which you're not sure through which channels you market, who needs the product, when do they need the product, how much of the product you need. And of course, actionable in the sense that you need to be sure of how much you need, the financing aspect of that particular business plan. How many units do you want to produce and who needs this number of units? Within what period of time will you produce this number of units to break even? You know, you start a business, you don't even know whether you'll break even at any point. You're just saying, oh, nimeuza, you have the money in the pocket, you've bought, you purchased, and the like. So that is the major challenge that most startups have. So they borrow before even they can be able to pay one installment, they don't have any cash. And they don't even have any raw materials or any products to convert to money. That has been a major problem. So ideally, business planning should be approached from the practical aspect. We offer that kind of training. And of course, the main business management skills are lacking amongst entrepreneurs. Even those who are already in business and they are matured, they still lack skills. One, they don't have costing skills. They don't know how much they bought, how much they spent, how much they have made. So before you can be able to say, I'm going to sell this unit of a product at this much, have you been able to cost And of course, some, if they have employed people, they don't know how to manage people. We train on people management and people and productivity within the Improve Your Business program, Equity Bank. Also, the last one, the challenge is cash flow management. They don't know how much comes in, how much goes out, how much they have, you see. So all that has been a challenge that makes it impossible for these businesses to grow. And finally, about digital financial solutions, is asked about cryptocurrencies. We have, as a bank, we have not gotten into that because there's been a lot of politics, a lot of information and misinformation about these currencies. Until they are actually acceptable, I think we have not gotten much into this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for responding to the questions. That was first round. I'd like to reduce the questions to 3 in the second round, because we are already at 1:30. 1:30. We need to go for lunch. And the speakers for the afternoon session are already here. So I request for 3 very precise questions, 3, and very precise responses to the 3 questions. The first one is over there, and the second one is there, and the third one is there. So we have the 3 questions. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, I'm Kodek. My question is to both. We know security is key in loans, and now we consider a young man coming up with an innovation in the business sector. I come to you for a loan. What do you consider as a security, since my startup doesn't have assets also? What is your collateral or security, please?
Thank you. Thank you. A very good question that was, Kodek.
Good afternoon. Thank you, the 2 financial institutions. My name is Dennis. I'm from Egerton University. I'm from Faculty of Agriculture. My question is on what products or services, some have already been highlighted, maybe regarding capacity building that you are doing in the agriculture sector, and to the Equity Afia, whether there are any challenges so far. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for attending from Egerton. The third question is from Mr. Philip to wet over here.
Okay, thank you. My name is Philip from School of Medicine and Health Sciences. My question is to the Equity Group, and my question is concerning the Equity Avia. I know currently you only have the outpatient component. Have you thought of introducing the inpatient component to ensure continuity of optimum care? Because I know when you introduce the inpatient component, there are also other partners who can come along. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's start with Equity this time. Are you ready, or we go to KCB?
Yeah, thank you. I think I'll request Daktari to address the Equity Afia. The last 2 questions are on Equity Afia.
Good afternoon again. I think, yes, we have 2 questions for Equity Afia. One was the main challenges facing Equity Afia. Number 1, essentially, is on human resource, whereby we have so many qualified, but very few have integrity. So that's the main challenge that we have. Then number 2, with that's now a challenge to the young guys around. As you go to the workforce, please, the first thing you need to do, achana na zile vitu zingine za campus. Just come work, come clean, and you will grow. That's number 1. Another challenge, which I think has greatly been reduced, is with the mentorship. Most of the time when you have, Equity essentially is a startup, but with adequate mentorship, whereby you have to be back and forth. You have to go back to your mentor and tell them, in such a situation, what should I do? But now that has been sorted by Equity Bank, whereby they are offering close mentorship, whereby from the idea stage till as we grow. So mentorship, at times you think you've gotten to where you want, then again you realize there's something challenging, then you have to go back to your mentor. Then another thing they asked about the idea of having an inpatient facility. Yes, we're thinking of it, and the way equity generally works, and we never go into something to fail. So the first thing you do piloting. And we had a discussion some few months ago, whereby we may start with piloting some few hospitals on how to can do inpatient, and then we'll scale it up. But maybe the next 3 years, we may have more of what we can call regional hospitals, whereby we have well-equipped, specialized hospitals. Essentially, we can't set up inpatient. We set up inpatient in Nakuru, inpatient in Joro, inpatient Kericho. Want to have whereby we have all-inclusive services for inpatient. So for the guy from Faculty of Health Sciences, umekaribishwa sana Equity Afya, and you can pass by anytime. We can have a further discussion. And I think you've thought something that maybe that took us long to think of. So karibu sana, and thank you.
Thank you, Daktari. Let's appreciate Daktari for the response. And KCB now.
Thanks for your questions. I'm going to address the first one on the one which was asked about security. Being a young entrepreneur, innovator with no capital. You remember at the beginning of my colleague's presentation, he emphasized on keeping proper records of your business and ensuring that you do all your bankings. Because for us, security comes second. What we first look at is the account. How have you been doing your bankings? Because we have a system where we do have unsecured facilities, which are based on how you have done your banking. So that is one of the solutions that we have. Then the other one, you don't have to have security to get a loan with us. You can approach someone to assist you with the security, which in that case, it's a guarantee, someone to guarantee you with the security. So long as your bankings are sustainable and sufficient to service that facility that you have requested. Thank you.
Sorry, I'll tackle question number 2. It was about the products and services and capacity building and the agricultural sector. Okay, so I'd like to say KCB, we are actually a very passionate bank about agriculture. We have a varied range of products in terms of supporting in the agriculture sector. We have partnerships with MasterCard, of which we are offering Mobigro loans. Right now, if you dial on your phone, *225#, you'll be able to open a Mobigro account. And through that banking, even without visiting a banking hall, you'll be able to start receiving small loans from 20,000 to boost in your agricultural business. So we are approaching agriculture in such a way that each type of agriculture is different. We understand if you are doing maize, your returns on that is cyclical. So we don't expect someone who is we are financing on maize to be doing monthly repayments. So if you are doing that particular crop, we look at when you are going to harvest. That's when we are going to schedule the loan repayment. We also are working with value chains in the dairy sector in such that we approach a cooperative, we buy for them a cooler, and through that, the ecosystem surrounding that community and that business in terms of dairy, they are able to get financing from the milk produce that they deliver. So we approach every type of agricultural activity differently, and also in terms of the support that we inject it's aligned to the kind of agricultural activity that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's appreciate him, please. You want to add something? Okay, okay.
Thank you so much. I just want to add something on security and collateral for startups. Equity Afya is a startup, and Daktari is here, who is a beneficiary of the same. Maybe after I speak, he'll tell you exactly what was the collateral until where the facility is. And ideally, you could be able to use collateral of family members if your family member can have an asset that can act as collateral for that particular loan, then that can also support that particular startup. And then in terms of financing agriculture, Equity, through Equity Group Foundation, we have a partnership with the Norwegian organization whereby we have a program known as FASRAT. FASRAT is financial access for rural agriculture using technology, meaning that if you are in doing farming, and of course an innovative farming, then you can be able to access training, and then you can also access financing through that particular program. It is just the social arm program that is supporting the economic engine. And those who are also doing farming, we've had a partnership with the Kenyan government doing what you call KSEP, Kenya Cereal Enhancement Program, whereby we partner and offer affordable farm inputs like seeds and fertilizer. Those who are doing farming, and they can also, of course, you have to show where you're doing the farming, how many acreage you're doing, and what capacity. That is what is expected. And you'll always get finance. You only pay 1,000 shillings, but you can access inputs worth almost 10,000 plus shillings. And then in dairy farming, Equity has run several programs. There was one known as SDCP, Small Dairy Farming Commercialization Program, whereby we are focusing on those who are doing dairy farming. And ideally, we are giving them training on how to manage their finances. So if you're doing, for example, an innovative dairy farming, you are supported even to get the machines and another kind of asset that is required to do the business. Maybe I can request Dr. to just pick one word about that.
The collateral for Equity Afya is very interesting. Equity Afya is its own collateral. That you don't need a collateral, you just need to set up the business with the money they've given you to become the collateral. Umeelewa? So you set up the business to be its own collateral. Sawa? So the bank finances you almost 100% to set it up, and then now whatever you set up becomes the collateral. So there's close working relationship with the bank, so that as you set up, they're there with you. You have an idea as a young person, but you don't have money. Nobody expects you at 18, at 20 to have millions of shillings. Sino kweli? Unless you come from a good, we all come from good backgrounds, but unless you come from backgrounds that have a lot of money. Sindio? Yes, now, once you set up, whatever you set up becomes the collateral. So you don't need any other collateral for you to set up the business, and the bank finances you fully. Thank you.
Thank you, Daktari. Thank you. Let's appreciate them. All right. We all come from good backgrounds. Stuff only changes around issues of money, but otherwise all backgrounds are good. Thank you so much, Equity Bank. And thank you, KCB, for responding. There's one more question that was online, and it would be unfair for us not to respond to it because the online guys are also following, isn't it? And there's a gentleman called Faki. I don't know if he's here. Mohammed? Is Mohammed here physically? No. I request Dr. Thega to read out the question for us.
I may not read it out, but Faki has an innovation around catering and food orders, and he's asking something about accessing financing from Vuma and the challenge of having to have a business permit. So we're asking how can he go around that, or what's the way forward for him? I know he's around, and if he's not, we could still get somebody to contact him and just give him an answer. But I think the challenge is about the issue of business permits, and can the bank invest or give him loans without necessarily having that as a young innovator.
All right. KCP?
Thanks a lot. I think maybe we'll get in touch with him further from after this. But really, Vuma, what it does, it's an innovation whereby you are pre-qualified according to how you transact on the platform. So just like these other innovations that we have, the KCB M-Pesa, the Hustler Fund also, Vuma depends purely on the transactions that are on the platform. So maybe what he can do usually gives you a period of 6 months so that you are pre-qualified for a limit. And if you repay well, that limit is increased. So since he doesn't have a business permit at the moment, I think he can start small with the limits that he'll receive after the 6 months. They usually range from 20 to around 100. Then from there, he can expand. Because we understand there are some businesses really that don't have that business permits. If you're offering a service, maybe what we may require is just health licenses, because that, according to law, that is a requirement. So maybe you can get those. Then starting small with that limit that he has, progressing further, he can be able to get larger facilities. Thank you.
Thank you, KCB. Thank you, Edwin. Equity? Do you have a response to that, or we defer it? Sorry? Oh, it was, all right, thank you so much. So I hope, Mohammed, wherever you are, you've had the response to your question. I encourage you to pass by the tents.